Yo, 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 yo.
Okay. Sound check. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Trav White here, where we talk all about internal and external self-development. And today, I am honored to have a special guest. This is Jeff, aka
Style O.G. Style O.G channel on YouTube. Check me out. I give lifestyle advice for men, style, grooming, and dating.
Style, grooming, and dating. But we're not talking about any of that today,
That's right?
Today I want to talk to Jeff about something a little bit deeper than clothing. I want to talk to Jeff about how to deal with criticism, how to deal with haters, and whether you're a creator, making your own videos, you're online in some way, shape, or form, or you just have a problem with a coworker, we all deal with negativity, haters, judgment. You see it on the media, it's bombarding your life. How do you rise above all of that, stay positive, keep putting your message out there, keep a smile on your face, keep a positive attitude? What do you do?
For sure. So what I do, I have a technique that I like to use no matter where the negative interaction is coming from, like Trav mentioned, whether it's online or in everyday life. It's kind of a three-step process. And what I like to do first, when the situation occurs, I stop first, take a beat or two so I don't react emotionally. That's the first step. Stop, take a second. Then after that, I consider the source. Then I have to say, okay, what are my previous interactions with this person? Is it someone that I respect, or is someone who likes or respects me or doesn't like or respect me? Then I can go on to the next step after I've determined who the person is, what the source of the information is. Then the next step after I've done that, then I'll process actually what they said or wrote. So that's a three-step process, and then I can take action based on those three steps.
But how do you go about like diffusing, let's say it's in person.
Okay.
And you've considered the source, and maybe it's someone you don't necessarily care about their opinion.
I got a great example.
Yeah.
So, you know, in my previous life, I had all kinds of jobs, just like I'm sure you guys have. And I had a situation where I worked an office job. And there was a guy there, we just did not like each other. He didn't like me, I didn't like him. We didn't know why we didn't like each other. We just didn't like each other. So one day he came up to work and had something to say to me, and he started the conversation off with some negative stuff. But what I did, I stopped. And what I did, I kind of turned it around on him. I said, hey man, what's going on? You having a bad day or something? Why you coming at me like this? And usually prior to that, we would always just get into it. So this time I decided to take a different approach and said, you know what, I'm gonna ask him what's going on with him and lead with empathy. That way, you know, what I consider, if he's used to me jabbing all the time or giving him a hook, I'm gonna come with a different shot, and he's going to have to pause for a second to adapt to my different way of approaching him. And what that did, that kind of took some of the edge off of his demeanor and his tone. He's like, no, I'm not having a bad day, but you know we don't really like each other, but I got something I think we need to discuss that's gonna help the job.
Gotcha.
So then after he did that, I was able to let my defenses down and say, hey, he's coming with something that's actually a productive thing. Whereas normally him and I would have argued and we never even would got to the productive thing if I didn't lead with empathy.
Flipping it around on him, you're giving him something he didn't expect, and it's a kindness.
Right.
Is what it is.
An unexpected kindness.
An unexpected kindness.
Right.
And you were able to get straight to a solution. I worked with the Art of Charm for a little bit.
Okay.
And they teach high value principles of a high value person. And one of the things that I thought was awesome, they said, a high value person never cares about being right. A high value person only cares about solving the problem. Leading with empathy, you're automatically saying, hey, you know what? I don't care if I'm right or wrong in this situation. I am just going to put myself in their shoes for a second, lead with a kindness, and kind of like let go of ego, let go of pride, and you get to a solution.
And it gets both of you guys in the situation closer to a solution.
And it could potentially lead to the possibility of two guys who have always hated each other to actually form some sort of, even if you don't start to like each other immediately, to form some sort of mutual respect.
And to swing the pendulum even a little bit, it can make the work environment better. Whereas you guys may have disliked each other at a level 10, now you're at 6, you reduce the stress level with this guy by 40%. It doesn't mean you like each other,
tension release.
it does release some tension.
I actually have an example of an online one. So if any of you guys are creators, or you're wanting to start a YouTube channel or a blog, or just put a message out into the world, and you're nervous about feedback, you're nervous about criticism, you're nervous about haters. So a principle I actually go by on my channel is, I actually think haters are a good thing. Not necessarily because I enjoy like people coming at me.
Right.
I would prefer that over like crickets.
Right, no response.
Like no response. If there's no response, like obviously I'm not putting out a message that people want to hear, nobody cares, it's dead in the water, I'm not gonna build a business. And for every like hater you might get online, I guarantee you, like they're just the loudest. Right. I guarantee you there's 10 to 20x more people who support what you said.
Insert cliche here. The squeaky oil gets the wheel. That's always gonna be the loudest. The loud wheel to work and you don't hear.
Yeah, exactly. Like everyone who agrees with you, they're just gonna hit like. They're not gonna come in and you know, kiss your butt all the time.
Exactly.
It's the people that disagree who are gonna be the loudest.
The people that like you are just gonna take the information, absorb the value, and move on with their day.
Absolutely, and that could paint a misconception in you as a creator's mind that there's actually a lot more hate when there's actually a lot more positivity. So that's the first thing I do. The second thing, and I can give an example, I have a small channel right now, you know, 1,000 subscribers maybe. I had a video about how to dress like a Peaky Blinder, go semi-viral, got like 100,000 views, around 90,000, something like that. But for a guy who at the time had
a lot of views,
300 subscribers, like that's a lot of views. That's new for me. It's getting in front of new eyes, getting in front of new people that don't know who I am, that don't care who I am. And it's usually just like open season at that point, and people are just going in. And there was a lot of positive comments too, but there were a lot of, there were some hateful comments, and they got to the point.
What were they saying? What were some of the things they were saying?
This one guy was like, "You look like a woman with a beard."
Okay, typical.
I was like, you know what? That's actually kind of funny. Like, cause hey, it might be kind of true. I don't know, but you know, things like that. So the point was, I actually enjoy haters. I think the last thing would be, some people are just trolls. And if you let every troll get to you, like you're not gonna get very far in putting out content online, because they're all over the place. One thing you could do is sort of insulate yourself from it. I know Antonio Centeno, I used to work for him at Real Men Real Style. He goes through a lot of his comments, but he actually filters out like keywords. And if there's a keyword that somebody's typing, it won't even post the comment.
So a keyword that that's typically is contextually a negative comment.
Right. So he's just adding a layer of insulation of that comment. It won't even make it to any of the comment section.
That's a great idea.
That's just how I feel about haters in general. I think haters are good and silence is bad. There's more positive people who are actually supporting you.
And also, even in that situation, you can still kind of have some empathy for trolls. A lot of times trolls just want some attention. They may not get any kind of attention, and the only way they know to seek attention is to provoke. So sometimes, even if you allow yourself to have some empathy, there's probably a reason why they're doing it. They took the time to provoke you for a reason. It's something in them that they felt the need to do it. So I try to have a little bit of empathy and say, he might be lonely, he may not have even interacted with anyone all day. So it could be, there's another way to have empathy and maybe not take it any personal, because they took the time. Whether it's giving you a negative comment, they did watch your video. They did give you. They did give you some time in their day, which they didn't have to. They
gave attention.
Right.
And I guess that's why, like, I actually sort of welcome it, because at the end of the day, it actually is kind of helping me.
Exactly, it is. And believe it or not, that negative person, if they watched a lot of the video, they probably did derive some value from it.
Yeah.
And if you treat them in a way that you don't respond too negative, they may step back and say, why did I do that? This guy did say some good stuff. Yeah,
and to your point, meeting it with an empathetic response, you could turn a hater into a super fan.
Exactly.
And they could become like, oh my God, like the fact that you responded like that, like subscribe. You know, and like so
that's happened to me a lot of times on my channel when I react with sarcasm or a joke or even empathy and say, hey man, I know you're probably having a bad day, but I hope you have a better day.
Yeah.
And then they will, a lot of times immediately say, man, you just got yourself a subscriber, man. I like how you came back at me.
Yeah.
It happens a lot more than you might think. But also, one of the good things to do is, in that process that we talked about earlier, when you stop, consider the source and process it. If you're someone that if you're allowed to be, and so when you allow yourself to be self-aware, you probably can, sometimes there is a little bit of truth in the poking.
Yeah.
So they may say something that actually does help.
Yeah.
Even if it comes from, poking, you might derive some benefit from it.
Exactly. Well, I think I covered it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being on the channel,
Thanks
man.
for having me on the channel, guys. Remember, I got Style O.G channel, so I put out a video every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Come check me out.
All right, guys. Well, leave a comment if you have anything to say about this. Even leave a hate comment. I'll read it, and it'll bump the video up.
And make sure you subscribe to my man's channel, one of the most underrated channels. He'll be growing soon, but subscribe to his channel as well.
Peace out.
Peace.
Yeah.